The NCAA basketball tournaments are now in full swing, but as far as I'm concerned, the real March Madness is how differently the organization treats their men's and women's teams. While gender disparities in major college sports are nothing new, this year the differences are stark, as several coaches and players shared on social media, including the University of Oregon's Sedona Price.
I got something to show y'all. So for the NCAA March Madness, the biggest tournament in college basketball for women, this is our weight room. Let me show y'all the men's weight room.
Condemnations poured in, including one today on Boston Public Radio from a pretty good former college basketball player in her own right, Attorney General Maura Healey.
They showed the women's area, and it basically looked like somebody went to Target and bought a 12 set of those little barbells, and then like a bag of chips in a bowl. Female athletes are as fierce, as competitive, as talented, work as hard, as their male counterparts.
The NCAA blamed the disparity on, quote, limited space and said they plan to expand the workout area once additional space was available later in the tournament. But Sedona Prince, she's back, had something to show us on that front, too.
Here's our practice court, right? And then here's that weight room. And then here's all this extra space.
Ultimately, the NCAA had no choice but to upgrade the women's weight area. And in a statement, the vice president for women's basketball said in part, as a former women's basketball student athlete, it's always been my priority to make this event the best possible experience for everyone involved. We fell short this year. No kidding. And it's not just the weight room. Players also shared photos of the merchandise the NCAA made for each tournament. They really couldn't come up with anything other than women's basketball. There's also the food. And perhaps most shocking, there's even a difference in the daily COVID screening, with the men reportedly getting the gold standard, highly accurate PCR tests, while the women get the less accurate antigen tests. On that front, the NCAA has said they approved both tests and went with what worked best for the different providers at the women's tournament in San Antonio and the men's in Indianapolis. Come on. But it's all prompted their Committee on Women's Athletics to send a letter calling for an investigation of the unequal accommodations. In it, the committee expressed their shock and disappointment over the disparities, which they said undermines the NCAA's authority as proponent and guarantor of Title IX protections and sets women college athletics back across the country. And for the final word, let's go back to Sedona Prince.
If you aren't upset about this problem, then you're a part of it.